Okay, we have one more award before we're going to take a break for dessert, and this is an award that we introduced last year, the Scientific Entrepreneur of the Year Award. And presenting this award will be Dr. Tom Madden, and it's supported by Acuitas. I think you're actually over there. There you go.
So I'm Tom Madden. I'm President and CEO of Acuitas Therapeutics. Our company is developing lipid nanoparticle delivery systems for nucleic acid medicines. And we're extremely proud that our technology has enabled two approved products. Onpattro, which is used to treat a rare genetic disorder, an otherwise fatal genetic disorder, transthyretin amyloidosis, and Comirnaty, which has protected billions of people globally from COVID-19. In addition to those approved products, we have over 20 partnered programs in the clinic, including programs in phase 3. This success is entirely attributable to the incredible team that I have the privilege to work with, several of whom are here this evening, including Miranda Lamb, our Chief Legal Officer and Vice President of Business Development, Abby Coleman-Walker, our COO, and Ying Tam, our Chief Scientific Officer. And I celebrate the successes of all of my team members in the work we've done to date. This award celebrates scientific entrepreneurship, exceptional scientific entrepreneurship, and it's given to an individual who has come up through the British Columbia Research Institute and has founded one or more successful companies to bring innovation to the marketplace. I'm hoping that none of you have opened your program for today, and that I can be the first to tell you that this year's winner of the Scientific Entrepreneurship Award is Dr. Robert N. Young. Dr. Young is a chemist. He studied at the University of Victoria and at UBC before continuing his research in London, Adelaide, and Yvette in France. He then joined Merck Canada, where he spent 19 years in a variety of senior positions. And during that time, he made seminal contributions to 5 approved products, including Singulair for the treatment of asthma and Arcoxia for the treatment of arthritis. He is a founder and president of Mesentech, where he continues to conduct research in the development of new drugs. I invite you now to watch a video highlighting Dr. Young's work in his own words.
I learned a lot about what I know about drug discovery when I was working at Merck in Montreal. 29 years, number of drugs discovered. Also in Montreal, we were working, I had the chance and the honor, I guess, to work with Gideon Rodin, who was one of the preeminent scientists in bone biology in the world, and he was responsible for Merck's development of Fosamax. We worked together for a number of years, and in particular, he had a great interest in prostaglandins and their effect on bone. And we were able to together determine that the so-called EP4 receptor is the critical receptor responsible. So then when I retired from Merck about 17 years ago, I had the great opportunity to come here to SFU, take this chair in drug discovery and pharmacogenomics. I sort of followed on with my interest with the prostaglandin E2 and EP4 receptor to develop compounds that would stimulate bone formation and bone repair. And so that's gone extremely well. I should say I'm really indebted to SFU, which has been a great environment, supported my work. They celebrate entrepreneurship, company formation, and translation of discoveries in the labs. Yeah, starting a company is quite daunting. A lot of academic scientists don't maybe appreciate how difficult it is to take discovery and bring it into reality so it really impacts people directly. There's lots of great science goes on, and it's very important, of course. It's the basis of how we evolve and go forward. But in the end, the translation to actually make a product, show that it's safe and it does what it's supposed to do and actually improves life and perhaps saves lives, that's really what matters. You know, I'm a chemist, but we do a lot of biochemistry and even molecular biology in our lab, and you really need those tools to be able to do drug discovery. So it's been a great environment for me to work in this last 15 or 16 years, and I'm looking forward to a few more.
Please join me in welcoming Jonathan Polak, CEO of Mesentech, who will accept this award on Dr. Young's behalf.
So I'm very happy to be able to accept this award on behalf of Bob, and this is my second time standing up here. The first time wouldn't have been possible either if it wasn't for Bob Young, who is the founder and has been working on the technology that made Mesentech possible for 20 years before I arrived at Mesentech. With that said, I think none of us would be here if it wasn't for the scientific entrepreneurs who persevere to bring their ideas to patients and bring people like me along the way for the ride. But without the scientific entrepreneurs like Bob, there'd be very little here for us to celebrate. So for that, I'm very grateful. And thank you very much, LSBC, for recognizing Bob and his contributions to science and medicine over his career. Thank you.
Okay.
I want to thank Life Sciences BC and the awards committee for this very prestigious award. Very sorry I can't be here tonight to receive it in person.
This is his acceptance speech.
But long ago I promised my wife a family reunion in Europe to celebrate one of her big birthdays, and I can't tell you which one. Her support over many years has been unwavering in spite of midnight and early morning Zoom meetings and last-minute absences. So I think I certainly over that. I'm nonetheless thankful and pleased that my colleague John Pollock can receive this award on my behalf. 17 years ago, I retired after a 29-year career at Merck Frost in Montreal, where I was fortunate enough to learn some of the ins and outs of drug discovery and development. During that time, I had the great fortune to work with Gideon Rodin, one of the most preeminent scientists in the field of bone biology. Gideon had a dream to develop a safe and effective treatment to restore bone lost in diseases such as osteoporosis. He called this the Holy Grail. Sadly, he passed away in 2006, shortly after his retirement. But I was inspired to try and realize this dream. I was brought up in BC, and in 2006, I was happy to return to BC and to Simon Fraser University as the BC Leaf Chair in Pharmacogenomics and Drug Discovery. For enabling this opportunity, I want to acknowledge the BC government, Merck, and Simon Fraser University. I also want to thank Geno BC, NSERC, and CIHR for funding my research over the past 15 and more years. I was fortunate to come to SFU, a university that celebrates and fully supports its creative faculty to go forward and engage the world. SFU puts its money where its mouth is. It helped me to move towards translating our science towards meeting unmet medical needs. The research I was able to initiate at SFU resulted in the foundation of a new company, Mesentech Incorporated. And I want to acknowledge my co-founders for the company, Michael Underhill Fabio Rossi, and in particular, Peter Cullis. Peter is someone who is the ultimate catalyzer for spurring entrepreneurship. Watching Peter work was the best real-world training in entrepreneurship one could get. One thing I learned at Merck is that no matter how exciting a scientific finding may be, a drug can only really help people if it can get through the informative minefield of preclinical and clinical development and become a medicine that treats real patients. To do this, you need an army of dedicated scientists and technical people. You need a very perceptive and creative team to solve the inevitable problems that you will encounter that try and block your way. I've been blessed with a legion of superb co-workers, both in my lab and in those in the labs of my collaborators, and more recently in Mesentech. As we shepherd our baby forward towards our goal. I want to particularly acknowledge John Pollock, our CEO, who is a relentless striver and must be given much of the credit for our rapid progress. I'm very pleased to tell you that our lead drug has recently entered human clinical trials and has been given the generic name Eridameprost in recognition of the vision of my Merck mentor, Gideon Rodan. Finally, I want to once again thank my nominator and the BC Life Sciences community for this award.